Hi and welcome back. So a new act has just passed in the United States Senate, which gives the FDA more control over supplement companies. Let's see what this new act is, and let's see whether or not this new act actually goes far enough. On the 14th of June 2022, the Senate Health, Education, Labour and Pensions Committee passed the FDA Safety and Landmark Advancements Act, which proposes various changes to the regulation of dietary supplements and also cosmetics. Specifically, in regard to dietary supplements, the Act would require that companies actually list their products with the FDA. The information required to be submitted in connection with those listings includes the name of the supplement company and the name and address of the manufacturer, packer or distributor appearing on the label. Now, I think this is good. I hope by manufacturer they mean the entity who actually produces and provides the raw material. In the case of NMN, this will more often than not be a Chinese company. It will hopefully expose companies such as Austin Nootropics and many others who claim to actually manufacture their own NMN in the USA, which most people will know is highly unlikely. They, like all other companies, buy their NMN from China and then package it or encapsulate it in the USA. They can then make the claim made in the USA. The FDA will also require contact information for the owner or operator. And again, I think this is very good. And I hope as a minimum, it includes a business address, an email address and a phone number. Many supplement companies limit their contact us to an email address or a web-based instant messaging application, usually at the bottom of their contact us page, or in some cases, just a Facebook page. This is usually because they're operating a drop shipping business out of their home or possibly their garage, or they keep very little stock on hand. And some companies give double-speak reasons for being so elusive and difficult to track down. Let's take a look at a contact us page from a company called Verso. This is the company that pays Thomas DeLauer to advertise on their behalf. So this is the Verso contact us page. I'm going to go through the headings and tell you what I think, my opinion for what it's worth. The first one you can see is operations, and it says, given the embrace of remote work in recent years, we don't see the need for expensive offices that nobody wants to go to and be less productive at. As such, we work remotely across North America. So I'm assuming because of COVID, they've closed their offices and now work from home or maybe even coffee shops. You may remember I reviewed this company and this was their only location. So let's hope this reduction in operating costs and things like rent has been passed on to the customers by way of a reduction in price. They then go on to say manufacturing. We manufacture in a GMP compliant and FDA registered facility in the United States. Again, as with many companies, this tries to give the illusion that they manufacture their NMN in the US. This is not true. All commercial NMN comes from China, and I believe now in some cases it also comes from India. They then go on to talk about warehousing. Your product will be shipped from our commercial refrigerators housed in our fulfillment center, which is also in sunny California, and they list an address here in Chula Vista, and the number's 813. This is that address. Does this look like it houses commercial refrigerators? For those who've seen them, they are quite large. And also, does it look like a bona fide fulfillment center? If you look at 813, there are two company names on the door, and neither of those are Verso. So that would prompt me to give them a call. Moving on to the phone number. You maybe find yourself asking, where's your phone number so I can call you and chat about all this great stuff? Remember when I reviewed this company, I called them the Cool Kid Company because they had phrases like all this great stuff plastered all over their site. We don't think having an unhelpful 1-800 line would do anyone any good. The website itself is a great resource to answer your questions. Again, in my humble opinion, just another way to keep customers at a safe distance and allow them time to consider written answers. And hands up who thinks 1-800 numbers are unhelpful. I certainly don't, for one. Then we can go on to messaging. It says email is a much more efficient way for us to better serve a large volume of customers. And it then says you can contact us at, and it gives you their number or their email address. You can also message us through the contact form below, and this is that contact form I spoke about before. And in my opinion, again, just another way to keep customers at a safe distance and allow them time to consider written answers, as opposed to having to ad-lib truthful answers to live questions over the phone. Now this site, Verso, is just one example. There are many companies whose public face is just a website like this, or even just an FB page or Instagram. Unfortunately, I think this may be very close to the minimum requirement that the FDA are actually going to impose. So the FDA will also require the business name and mailing address of all locations in which the dietary supplement is manufactured, packaged, labelled or held. Again, let's hope by manufacture they mean the Chinese company who actually produces the raw product and not the US-based reselling company. They also want a list of all the ingredients that are in each supplement, and let's hope supplement companies don't try to hide behind the proprietary blend loophole that exists at the moment. The FDA will also want to know the number of servings per container, the directions for use, warning notices and safe handling statements, allergen statements and any health or structure function claims, and the dietary supplement product listing number. I agree with all of this. It's actually very close to what most reputable companies do now anyway. The next thing I think is key: subject to limited exceptions, the information will be made publicly available in a searchable electronic database. This will be a great resource, and one that I think that many of the fly-by-night companies would not like to see come to fruition. And if I can get access to it, I will regularly review it and let you know what companies are on there and what they are actually selling. So I have a couple of comments on the Act so far. It looks as though this is only applicable to USA-based companies, and I would hope that those wishing to sell in the USA from abroad would have to adhere to some similar type of standards. Also, there's no mention of initial testing or random testing. So as long as a company sets up and fulfills all of the criteria, they can then after that still sell fake products. And it looks like the FDA will still rely on concerned citizens reporting nefarious company activities. Time will tell how effective this new act is really going to be. Now, the Act also proposes changes to the regulation of cosmetics, and although not wholly applicable, there are some supplements such as NAD creams and serums that I think fall into the category and would be of interest to people in the longevity community. They also want to know about adverse reporting requirements. They also need to know about the establishment of good manufacturing practices for cosmetic facilities. There's a requirement to maintain records supporting the safety of the cosmetic product, and a labelling requirement to include contact information for adverse event reporting. I think this is very helpful, and I don't think it exists at the moment. And a requirement to have records accessible to the FDA if there is a reasonable belief that the product or the ingredients present a threat of serious adverse health consequences, and a mandatory recall authority. Again, I think these requirements are extremely important and warranted and should have actually been implemented years ago, but better late than never. Well, I hope you found that interesting or informative, hopefully both. I think the big question I would want to ask here, this is a mammoth task. What kind of task force is going to have the resources to be able to police this act and make sure that companies are actually adhering to it? Also, what's to stop a company that's fulfilled all the requirements, then started to sell fake products on a platform such as Amazon, being caught, being shut down, and that company then starting up with a new name and a new location within a couple of weeks or months, submitting their new documents to the FDA, being approved, and then start selling again on Amazon. Much as they do now, apart from they don't have to submit their documents anywhere. Let me know what you think about this new act. Let me know if you think it goes far enough. And let me know if you think for the cunning company that really just wants to cheat people, is this going to stop them selling fake products on platforms such as Amazon? Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Let me know what you think of the presentation. Let me know what you think of the act itself. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. As always, please take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.